everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chia, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you all my physical TBR. These are physical books that I've had on my shelves. There's a lot on my TBR shelves. There's a few on here, but majority of these I've read, and I usually keep a lot of my favorite books on this shelf. There's only like a good handful that I haven't read on this bookshelf, but I have other bookshelves that are in the living room. There's one like off the little kitchen corner that we have, and I'm going to count them all and see how many we end up getting, because I want to start doing a series where it's called Physical TBR Takedown. I want to do like at least a monthly series so that I can focus on getting some of these books read on my shelf. I can't keep buying books knowing that I have other books on my shelf that I need to read. So this is giving me a chance to pick them up. If you're new here, like I said, my name is Chia. I'm a ferocious reader. I love reading anything and everything, but my main genres are usually fantasy, romantasy, young adult, everything that's subgenres, gothic fantasy, dark fantasy, but I am venturing into other genres like sci-fi and literary fiction, as you will notice on my physical TBR shelves. If you want to stick around for those, like I said, I'm doing a series soon, so like and subscribe. It really does help my channel a lot. If you want a more live update of what I'm currently reading, my socials linked down below and my Goodreads, so feel free to follow me on there. But let's get started. Alright friends, we are in my bookshelves, like closer to the little nook in our kitchen area. I have a lot, maybe even like majority of these read over here. I put books on here that are like sort of like not really my priority reading right now, or stuff that are more seasonal that I would like to read more in the fall time. First things first, I kindly got gifted this like a long time ago from an Instagram friend that I have, and it's The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This is more like a suspenseful, like I feel is more towards maybe summer. I like reading thrillers during summer and fall time, so this book right here I'm saving for the fall time, and I didn't like try to pick it up during fall last year because I just didn't have like the mood to pick up thrillers for some reason last year. I was just more into like the spooky seasonal reads last year. This is on my priority because obviously I got gifted it and I want to make sure that I read it, and also because I'm really interested in Riley Sager. I want to see if Riley Sager is for me. And the next one that's like not read yet is the Book of Danvers, Bone Island, Tales of Weeping Hollow. This is the second book in the Tales of Weeping Hollow interconnected series. This series like follows like multiple different characters in different books, and apparently this is the better of the two. I want to pick it up during fall time. It was priority reading in the fall, but obviously I didn't get to it. And then on here I pretty much read all of these, and then I'm not going to take it out of the box set because I don't want to do that. I have all three of the Mistborn trilogy. I want to prioritize reading Brandon Sanderson this year, so I have Mistborn, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Aegis. And then the next one I have is the Arcanum Unbounded books, the reading order that I'm going to follow, which like most people read, but it's starting off with the Mistborn. There's a lot of like novellas in here that will pertain to a lot of the characters that I will be meeting in the series, so I have this ready because as soon as I'm done with Mistborn I want to completely like go into the novellas in here. And I think there's another standalone I have to figure out when that will be, but we'll see when I finally start that journey. Another one is the Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. I did start this maybe when I first got it, but I realized I wasn't just in the mood to read this right now. It's a lot more of like a lighter fantasy. I love Greek mythology. I just didn't feel it was the time to read it, so I put it down. But I do want to pick it up soon because the second book is out, and I think the third book is coming out this year too. I want to say it's the last book. I think it's only a trilogy, but we'll see. Next is A Far Wilder Magic by Alison Saft. I picked this up when I first started reading again. I think I picked it up around the time of like when I started reading Caraval. It's like a young adult fantasy, I want to say. It's more alchemical magic, but I want to pick this up and see if I actually still like it, because I'm prioritizing picking up books that have been on my shelf forever. I don't want to be out of the mood of not being able to rate it higher just because I bought it so long ago and I'm just like a different reader compared to how I was before. So we'll see if I actually still like this, but I heard amazing things, so I have no doubt, hopefully, the Ellen Hilderbrand book. Oh, and just as a disclaimer, I don't have any of these books organized, by the way. They're literally like stuck onto the shelf because I had no more room anywhere else. But one day I do want to like start sorting them through the genres, but I want to focus on reading more of them first and see if like there's stuff that I want to actually keep after reading them, and then maybe if I don't like some of these books I can get rid of some of them. And so I picked up The Academy by Ellen Hilderbrand, featuring her daughter Shelby Cunningham. This one features like a person going to boarding school and there's like a mystery going on, and there's sort of a Gossip Girl-esque like app that goes through, and I guess it's a series. That's what I heard. But this one just gives like great fall vibes, and I really like the academic academic setting around this time, especially during the winter time too. Next is A Blood and Ether by Harper Hawthorne. I heard a lot of buzz about this at the beginning when it first came out. Now no one's talking about it, so I don't know what's going on with this book. And also, it's supposed to be a 5-book series, but I still do want to read it. I did hear amazing things, and like it's just another like fantasy romance-y, and it's maybe a little bit darker too, but we'll see. Another one is Immortal Consequences by Ivy and Marie. I picked this up earlier last year too, when it was like fall time. Again, this is like an academic setting, but like immortal stuff, and then there's like trials and everything, and it's to earn your place in the afterlife. I don't know, it's an interesting concept. It's like a different concept than I'm used to, and it's young adults, so I'm excited to pick up this one, and I love the sprayed edges that was it. I heard like mixed reviews on it though, so we'll see if I actually like it. And then it's another book that's been on my shelf the longest too. I picked this up a long time ago, back in like 2024 I think. It's A Fate Inked in Blend by Danielle L. Jensen. This one's sort of like a Nordic mythology book. Again, I heard mixed things about it. It's a duology. I hope I like it. It's really pretty. I like that it's a white cover with the blue edges, and there's like a little etching there. I don't know if you can see. I want to do a video eventually, like reading books that I've been avoiding for the longest time, and I think I want to put this in that video. 5 Survive, another thriller that I want to get to by Holly Jackson. I do have, you'll see the other books I have by Holly Jackson, so when we get to that shelf. Again, this is another young adult thriller. I heard this one is really good too. I have all of like the Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. I'm currently reading second book right now, City of Ashes. Oh my god, I don't remember, but this is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th book. So I still have to read City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire. I'm currently going through the full reading order right now. I read multiple of her series within the Shadowhunters worlds, but I like jumped around because I didn't even fully know that there was a reading order until last year. And so I want to read it so that I could fully like connect everything with the Easter eggs, and I'm going to be rereading the books that I already read in the series. I read Infernal Devices, and I also read the Last Hour series. Only one on this shelf that I have not read yet, The Glittering Edge. I know I said I was going to read this around fall Halloween time. I didn't get to it obviously, and it's by Alyssa Villar. What I heard is that it's very similar to the 2010s young adult books, and I miss the 2010 young adult books so much, so I'm giving this a try. And I got the Fairy Loot edition. I was able to get it secondhand. And then next is by Rebecca Ross, A River Enchanted, and then the duology conclusion, A Fire Endless. These are the only 2 copies that I was able to find during the time. I hate that one is hardcover and one is a paperback. I'm hoping that I can replace A River Enchanted with a hardcover eventually if I decide that I like it. And I love Rebecca Ross. Her writing is amazing. I heard this is one of her like superior writing books, and I'm hoping to, like I said, replace the paperback with a hardcover if I end up liking it. Next is Fallen Stars by Imani Eriyo. This is the Waterstones exclusive edition. I have talked about multiple times how I read Heavenly Bodies and I didn't really have a good time reading it, and I couldn't see the hype. I am giving it another chance because I feel like I read it at the wrong time. So I did end up like pre-ordering the Waterstones exclusive edition of Fallen Stars, because again, I have the Heavenly Bodies matching edition of it. So I'm hoping I end up loving it after the second book because they're so pretty. I love the editions of them, but I know that I can't like keep books just because they're pretty, you know? I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that this will make me fall in love with the series. Next is The Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Bayron. This is a Fairy Loot copy that I got a while back. I heard terrible things about it, so I might get rid of this copy. I might just like donate it because it's gorgeous, don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't think it's gonna be a book that I like. I may pick it up, who knows? I just want to see. I think it's a Sleeping Beauty retelling because Poison Apple and then Sleep Like Death. Maybe I will like it, hopefully, because it is so pretty, and I might pick it up, but if I don't end up liking it, I will get rid of it. And the next one is like a Christmas romance, The Christmas Fix. I tried reading a couple of chapters of this like a couple years ago when I got it. I was not interested whatsoever. I don't know if Lucy Score's writing is for me, but I'll try one more time this coming December, hoping I will like it. If I don't end up like really liking it at all, or even eventually reading it, I'm just gonna get rid of it. Next is The Will of the Many and The Strength of the Few. I did like start reading this a while back. You see the bookmark there, and I got up to like 164 pages. I was loving it, and then I think I just started hitting a slump. It was like during summer. So when you're in the middle of summer, or at least for me, I cannot read like a deep, complex fantasy like this. Obviously, I'm gonna pick it up again. I was already loving it. It's just that my interest was starting to wane, and I didn't want that affecting my time with it or what my rating will be for it. So of course, I'm gonna pick it up eventually, and I have the sequel. That's how much I know that I'm gonna like it. I haven't read Heat of the Everflame yet. I've had this like original indie hardcover for a while. I bought it right before it got like turned traditionally published. I love it. It has like the flames on it on all of the 3 hardcovers. I'm kind of sad that I'm not gonna have the 4th book as an indie hardcover. We're still waiting on the last book, The Burn of the Everflame. I devoured the first 2, and then I heard like how the 4th book kind of like being stopped being released because she got traditionally published, and there was like drama happening too. So I decided not to pick it up. I might not be able to remember all the details in all honesty. So the moment Burn of the Everflame gets announced with the exact release date, I will be rereading the first 2 and reading this for the first time and doing a full vlog of it, but not until then. These are the Twilight special edition copies that I got. I'm currently rereading the Hunger Games trilogy. I read those already. As soon as I'm done rereading that, then I'm going to jump into Ballad of Songbirds and Snake and Sunrise on the Reaping, because I'm trying to get ready for the movie that's coming out later on this year. So I can't wait, but I heard this is going to like emotionally wreck me, and I'm scared. Next is The Mad King and the False Queen. I heard nothing but amazing things about this. This is the first book in a quartet, I believe. It's an indie published, and it's one of the like underrated ones, so I want to see for myself. I just got the first book because I'm starting to learn my lesson to only start the first book and see if I like it, and then maybe move on to the next 3. And they are all on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm not like rushing to get the physical copies or anything. Next is the next 2 in the Compelling Fate saga, Promise So Bold and Broken and A Bond So Fierce and Fragile. And then these ones like are the only physical books I have besides the first one, and the 4th one I haven't bought yet, but I want to work my way through the 2nd and 3rd before I pick up the 3rd one. I don't know where it cut off, but apparently my SD card was full, so... But yeah, these are the next ones that I have on my shelf. I have Lady of Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and Queen of Air and Darkness. This is a part of the, what is it called? The Dark Artifices. My boyfriend was kind enough to get these for me for Christmas, so I'm super grateful that I have them, because again, I'm working my way through the Shadowhunters universe. But yeah, these are long, and I heard these are going to devastate me because of the cliffhanger. But yeah, I'm excited to finally get to these, but it's going to be a little bit of a while because I have a bunch of books to read before I get to the Dark Artifices. And then I have Dagger in the Flame. I think this is a young adult. It's going to be a trilogy, and it's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, so we'll see how that goes. And then I heard nothing but amazing things about the next 3 books, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. And then I have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, another heart-wrenching one that I'm afraid I'm going to like really tear up in. But this will be read soon because I have a video I'm planning to read this book in. And then Dungeon Crawler Carl, it's the first one. I think it's 1 book of 7. It's apparently like a dungeon crawler book, especially if you love video games and D&D, which I love both. I used to play a lot of D&D with a few of my friends like over COVID, and I had so much fun doing it, so I can't wait to read this. I heard it's very humorous also. Next is the Jasad Air Duology. I think that's what it's called. It's another like Egyptian based mythology book, and I'm trying to expand my genres of different like fantasy books I'm reading this year, so we'll see how I feel about this. And then I have My Friends by Frederick Bachman. I want to be a Frederick Bachman stan too. I heard nothing but amazing things, and again, this is another book that people are saying that it will make me cry, so I have a bunch of other Frederick Bachman books you'll see in like my other shelves over there. It looks like such a great summer read or spring read, and I can't wait to dive into his work. Another one is just like a good fun, like a cozy fun time, Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. I read her other one, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. It's such a mouthful title. I love that book. I loved how cozy and great it was. Usually I'm not a cozy fantasy person, but I loved how it was written. Next is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I think this is one of the last books I have to read on Emily Henry's backlist before like reading all her work, which I'm so excited about. I'm so excited to see what I think of this, because apparently if you love books, obviously, you will love this because it's like takes place as like an editor or something here. I'm really excited. And then I have Smoke and Scar and Splintered Kingdom by Gretchen Powell Fox. I heard the yearning from the male main character is amazing, and it's a reversed one because she is a 500-year-old fae and he's like the 20-year-old human, and then they fall for each other, and I'm so excited to see what I think of this. The font is actually pretty small, so we'll see if I actually like really like it. And next are like some recent books that I've bought over the past few weeks. I believe I got Nightshade by Autumn Woods. I heard this is a great dark academia, well, like dark romance, but a lighter side of dark romance, and a lot of people have been having such a good time with this book, and I think it's going to be duology. The second book is supposed to come out in a few months, and then The Bright Years. I heard nothing but amazing things about this by Sarah Caroli. She's one of my favorite YouTubers, and Sarah has like been raving about this book, and it's one of her favorite reads of last year, and it's pretty short too, not even 300 pages. No. And then the last one is God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This one's like a slow mystery that's set in a summer camp, but I'm kind of like iffy about it because it's like a 550 page mystery, so we'll see what I think about it. Next is we're going to be going over these shelves right here. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, there are 2 shelves up here and then 4 shelves up here. Before I do that, there are a few books that I forgot to talk about from the other shelf, and this one is Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. I think it was in my haul video last year. I picked this up after I read Babel. I really love R.F. Kuang's writings. I'm interested to see what her other dark academia books are about. This one follows a character who goes into hell to save her professor. And the next one is the 4th book in the Zodiac Academy series called Shadow Princess. As soon as I'm done with all 5 books in the Boys of the Zodiac series, then I could finally move on to the 4th book of Zodiac Academy. So we'll see when I eventually get to that, but I'm hoping this year. So I think the way my shelves are situated, it's a lot easier for me to just take the camera and go through my books, so won't see my face for a little bit, but I'm guessing you guys don't care. So let me go through and show you what's on my shelves over here that I haven't read. Okay, I'm hoping you guys can hear me. I did turn my mic around, so I hope that will help. These are my books that I've already read, and then moving on to I believe this is called the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb, Assassin's Apprentice, Royal Assassin, Assassin's Quest. I got this a long time ago. I think this is like the 10-year anniversary I got from Amazon. I do want to get into the series again. It's another huge universe, and this is, I heard, it's like the best trilogy to start with. This is the other Holly Jackson books that I have that I told you guys about. It's the Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I bought this again when I first started reading. I heard that like the first 2 are great, but some stuff happens in the last book that a lot of people don't like, so we'll see how I get along with this, but I feel like I'm gonna devour it. This second book is As Good as Dead, and then Good Girl, Bad Blood. And then the next one is, I think this is the Academy-based mystery. I picked this up, and I think there's a 4th book in the series. I don't know if they follow the same plot throughout the whole entire 3 books. Truly Devious, and it's by Maureen Johnson. I don't know if I said that already. The Vanishing Stare and Hand on the Wall. I have the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy. This again is like the collector's edition. If I have the option to get the collector's edition of books rather than like the regular copies, then I will. So I have a Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light. Shelf on the bottom. Yes, I have a paperback copy of Fallen Stars. Don't ask me any questions about why I have that. The Magnificence of Death. I heard amazing things about this. It's like Addie LaRue, but like make it gothic, I guess, and it's by Rhea Rainwater. Let's not let that fall. I have The Witch Collector and City of Ruin. People have been waiting for the 3rd book to come out for a while, and there's like again another like author publisher kind of problem, so we'll see when I eventually get to that. And then here's the Belladonna series. So Foxglove I haven't read, Wisteria, and then I recently picked up Holly for like a good novella because I really enjoyed Belladonna. And then Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson, another high fantasy book that I want to get into. Next is Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. It's a mixture of tarot cards based magic and dark academia, so I want to see how that turns out. And next is this pretty copy of Air of Storms. It's so gorgeous. Like, I can't wait to finally read this. As a young adult, and it follows a character who has water powers, I think, and she ends up like wiping out her whole entire town with it. And then I have the first 2 of the Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. I have been meaning to pick these up for years, but I just can't get into it right now. I don't know why. It just feels so textbook to me the first like few pages. Every time I pick it up, I start getting like a little bit bored. And then of course, Map of the Other Lands, and then Curious Tides, Stranger Skies. I really was interested to pick these up, but I have heard nothing but kind of like mixed reviews about these two books. If you are like fans of these books, or basically like convinced me to read them. And this one was given to me by one of my good friends. This is his cousin's first book, I believe, and I'm so grateful for my friend to let me read this book, and I can't wait to read it and see what I think about it. And next is Blood Over Bright Haven. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this by Emma Wong, and then In the Veins of Drowning by Kelly Cassidy. This follows a siren, and we need more siren books because we don't get enough of that. And then Princess of Blood is a sequel to Servant of Earth, part of the Shards of Magic trilogy. I loved the first book, and I'm excited to read this because there's a love story that I want to see more explored in here. And then I have To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker. I read When the Moon Hatched, was kind of okay on it, but I do want to read the other books in her like backlist. I heard this is amazing. It's a Rapunzel dark fantasy romance, but I heard it's very toxic, and you know me and my toxic romances. So I had to pick this up, and I'm going to pick it up soon, hopefully. And this is the Waterstones exclusive edition. Waterstones has been hitting hard with their editions. That's why I've been like loving their like editions, and always like checking their exclusive editions of it before I order anything from like Barnes & Noble or anything like that. But yeah, and look at the sprayed edges of it. And then next is Silver Cloak by Lakeith Steven. This is the same author of Our Infinite Fates that I really didn't, like, and there's Sully just hanging out. If I've never mentioned before, Sully is one of my favorite Disney characters, and this one is a wand-based magic system, which I haven't read in a while since, Harry Potter. I heard nothing but amazing things, so I'm excited to give her another chance. The only one I have unread on here is City of Lies and Legends. You see my Labubus up here. These are the only two I got. Don't really want any more. I put them up here. I'm just like afraid to put them on my bags because I don't want them like getting stolen. But yeah, they just hang out here with my books. So City of Lies and Legends, the third book in the City of Gods and Monsters series. I'm hesitating to pick this up because this one was not my favorite. In fact, it was one of my like worst books of last year. And then these are the only two books I haven't, well, you know what? I lie. Fear of the Flames, Wrath of the Dragon, Amber Reviewing Close Wrath of the Fallen, and this is Hollow by the Twisted Sisters. This is the special edition. I haven't read that yet, so I'm excited to read that. Okay, we are back in my usual area with my TBR cart, but there's only a few on here that I haven't read. Those two are House of Salt and Sorrow by Erin Craig, and then the sequel is House of Roots and Ruin. And again, these two have been on my shelves for the longest, so I really need to get like cracking on this. Okay, these other two have, I think are like one of the ones that have been on my shelf the longest, and that's Strange the Dreamer and also Muse of Nightmares. It's a duology. It's by Laini Taylor. I used to hear about it a lot back in like 2023, but now I don't really hear about it anymore, so maybe the hype died down for it. And then these are part of a series that I need to get through. This is the This Woman Kingdom series, which is this Infinite Threads, which is the second one. I already read the first one, and the third one is This Twisted Glory, and then this one is the one that recently just came out in September, Every Spiral of Fate. I'm kind of like waiting to get closer to the last book because I heard there's a love triangle in here and like not a lot of plot happens, and also I'm not too sure if she's made her decision about the love triangle, and I can't be dragged on for books without it getting some sort of like resolution about the choice. I love the covers. Tahara Mafi, she wrote Shatter Me, and I loved Shatter Me, and that one's like very juvenile writing, so we shall see how I feel about that. And then the last few are all of the Red Rising saga. I finished the first trilogy, and now I'm moving on to the next arc, but I'm not going to move on to this next arc until Red God gets announced, and Red God is the final book in the whole entire Red Rising saga. This one follows the same characters from the first trilogy but 10 years later, and also it adds new perspective in this too, so I'm excited to see how that's going to be because the first three books we've only been in Daryl's POV, but this one adds new character POVs, so I'm excited to see what all the other characters think. So it's Iron Gold, Dark Age, Lightbringer. Next is The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence, and also the sequel, which is The Book That Broke the World. Again, I really want to pick it up, so I forgot that I have another little shelf in the corner outside in the hallway. Like I said, I really need to get through all of this. The three that I have on my shelf is a part of the, what's it called, the Bear and the Nightingale series. There's a trilogy. It's The Bear and Nightingale, The Girl in the Tower and also The Winter Witch. And these books are a trilogy that are based on Russian folklore. And then One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. This is the only Olivia Blake book that I own. This is sort of like a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but with witches. And the next is The Diviners by Liva Bray. I heard this is amazing, like 1920s fantasy, and it's set in New York. A lot of people love this series, and it's a quartet, I believe. But I only have the first book, so I'm trying to read this book before picking up the other ones. Hopefully I like it. And then I have all 5 books of the Trials of Apollo series in the Percy Jackson universe. This one is following one of the gods. Obviously it's following Apollo. So The Hidden Oracle, The Burning Maze, The Dark Prophecy, The Tower of Inferno, and The Tyrant's Tomb. I love the way Rick Riordan tells the Greek mythology like lore in the form of like, you know, younger characters. Percy, Annabeth, and Grover are 3 of my favorite characters of all time. I always recommend the Percy Jackson books to people who are just trying to get into more fantasy books, but they are more like Greek retellings. It writes a bit like middle school, but there are a lot of like themes that they go through. It's such a hard-hitting series, and I've never read The Trials of Apollo before. I want to read The Trials of Apollo before I get into the next Percy Jackson series. I think this one is them in college now, I believe. It's called The Chalice of the Gods. Next is, what is this series called? It's called The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. Another YA series that got a lot of buzz a while back, but now are like not really talked about. I'm not too sure what the order is, so forgive me if I don't put it in the correct order, but it's Shattered City, Serpent's Curse, and also Devil's Thief. Next is The Raven Boys Quartet. I've been putting these books on so many TBRs over the past like couple years, but this is like one of the classic YA books. The Raven Boys, The Dream Thieves, Lily Blue, and The Raven King. And they're pretty short. There's no reason why I shouldn't like just pick it up. And then next is The House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. It's like a haunting of a house, and this is better for fall. And the next is 5 Broken Blades by Mai Cortland. I picked this up initially because I heard Carrie Can Read compare it to Six of Crows, and Six of Crows is one of my favorite fantasy series of all time. I did also like the addition of it. Apparently the sprayed edges match like the other 2 that came out, but ever since then I've been hearing like mixed reviews about it, so I only picked up the first book, thankfully. Next is another Crystal Sutherland book. This book reminds me of The Craft a bit. They all come together because they all have like the sudden get like magical powers, and then these ones I've been putting on so many fall TBRs. I really just need to get over and read it. This is like the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. It's like interconnected mysteries following the same girl. It's Stalking Jack the Ripper, Escaping from Houdini, Hunting Prince Dracula, and also Capturing the Devil. So it's 4 books that follows the same characters, but they all go through different mysteries. And then the next ones are gonna all be on my TBR cart. So these are a majority of the books that I have not read, and I probably am not going to take it off the 3-tier cart, to be honest. I'm just going to like probably individually talk about it. Like I said, I have a bunch of like Frederick Bachman books. A Man Called Ove. This one is like following a sort of older man, and he's sort of like grumpy, but I guess he kind of starts getting really close to his neighbors, and I already know I'm gonna cry, so I'm gonna pick this up when I'm in like a better headspace. And then next is of course like Beartown. Beartown is like probably one of his like most popular ones. It's a part of a series, and it's about an ice hockey town that goes through a sort of tragedy. And then of course like Anxious People. Heard amazing things about this too, but we shall see how I like that, which ones end up becoming my favorites. And then I have the Madoran Chronicles, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th book of it. It's Dracora, Vardasia, and Gravel. This is the 3rd one. This follows a character, Alex, who sort of gets fallen into a magical world and has to attend a magical academy, and then she ends up discovering more stuff about the whole entire world and the conflicts they go through. It does read very young, but it's giving me the nostalgic vibes of when I used to find books as a younger kid. So far I'm recommending this whole entire series. The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. I think it's like gothic fantasy. I guess I'll let you know once I finally pick it up. I have the Inheritance games, all 3 of it. YA again, YA mystery. If you've watched Knives Out, it's similar to that, where she has to solve like different puzzles in order to get the inheritance that she was given. And so another dystopian romance, or is just a dystopian, I'm not sure. A Starkview, I've talked about this many times. And next is, this is another recent one that I got. It's Hazelthorn by C.J. Andrews. It's a gothic horror YA, and it takes place in a gothic mansion. If I end up liking this book, I want to move on to C.G. Andrews' other book called Don't Let the Force In. And the ones behind here are The Exorcism Fairies, another fall TBR book that I didn't pick up. And then I have Bespelled and Bewitched. I've tried to pick this up a few times. I'm not liking any of the characters. I'm going to read Bewitched, hopefully this year. And then if I really don't like it, I'm just gonna get rid of it. Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed. I loved the A Study in Drowning by her. It wasn't like a favorite, but I still loved how it was written and how the story came about. This is my year of gothic fantasies and picking up genres that are not within my comfort zone. And of course, it's another book that I recently got over the Christmas period, Kristen Hanna, The Nightingale. I want to be in my Kristen Hanna era. I love historical fiction, and oh, this is such a gorgeous cover. I think this is the 10th anniversary collection. I feel like I'm going to cry in this. Next is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Another one that I've been meaning to pick up. I'm hoping I love it. And then another Erin Morgenstern book is The Starless Sea. I guess it's a story about stories. We'll see if I end up liking it. A lot of people kind of give mixed reviews about this, but I love stories about stories, so I'm hoping I like it. And then I have Piranesi. I've been waiting to be in a sort of mood to read this because I heard amazing things about it. It's very lyrical writing. It's sort of becoming like a modern day classic now, and I want to know the story of Piranesi. And Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambao. This I heard is very similar to a lot of Miyazaki films, and I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan, and if you compare anything to a Studio Ghibli movie, I will pick it up right away. And this is such a gorgeous edition. I got it from Barnes & Noble, and the end where it's like a origami, same thing with that. This is so pretty. Okay, and then Light Lark by Alex Astor. I took forever to buy it, first of all, and then finally I saw a deal on it, so I picked it up. I've heard so many mixed things about this whole entire series, that it was supposed to be a trilogy, and then she extended it, and now it's just getting ridiculous at this point, so I just want to see what I think about it. I like picking up books and seeing what I think about it, because obviously, my opinion could differ from somebody else's opinion, and who knows, I might end up actually liking it. It's just, I gotta get motivation to pick it up. And then Anathema, I read Carrie Lake Nocticadia. Love Nocticadia and picked this up too. It's a 700-page book. It's gonna take a lot for me to pick it up. And then I heard amazing things about the Little Thieves trilogy. These are so hard to take out of from the 3 tier. But I have the first 2 and I want to see what I like about it. Kiss of Iron by Claire Sager. I've been just avoiding picking it up because I wanted to go through the first series she has in this whole entire world, where it follows her sister first and then this story follows the younger sister, because I think the older sister makes an appearance in here. But at this point, I don't think I'm interested to continue that series at all. It's reading so young to me and I'm just not interested anymore, so I might just DNF that series. I think I already have DNF that series in all honesty, and move on to this. And it's a completed trilogy because I think the 3rd book came out late last year, I want to say, or early last year, something like that. This one is Serpent and the Wolf by Rebecca Robinson. I think this is a trilogy. A 2nd book is supposed to come out in February. I heard it's very bingeable. I have the full Dawn of Onyx trilogy, The Sacred Stones. I've yet to pick up any of them. I think it's just a classic romantasy, and it's not too taxing to get into. In fact, it's a sort of a beginner fantasy, so we'll see how I feel about that. Next one is the Fireborn trilogy, Fireborn, Flamefall, and Fury Song. I heard this is more political dragons. Okay, last tier. This one, I'll start with this one. This is Dungeons and Drama. I see this all the time in Barnes & Noble and Target, and I see it on the shelves all the time. And then City of Brass. This is the first book in the Daevabad trilogy, another Egyptian based lore book. I heard nothing but amazing things. I think it's a YA. I only have the first book because again, I'm trying to make sure to only pick up the first books of a series. Then I have the first 2 books of the Legendborn series. I have Legendborn and Bloodmark. It's sort of like a King Arthur story, so I'm interested to see how this take is. I hear nothing but amazing things about this series. And then I have the Furyborn trilogy, 2 queens who are facing the same dilemma 1,000 years later. Again, I picked this up earlier in my reading journey and I haven't had the chance to pick it up at all, or the motivation to pick it up at all. And then Red City by Marie Lu. This is a alchemical based book, and it's based in Los Angeles, called Angel City. And then the full 3, Half a Soul, 10,000 Stitches, Long Shadow. Heard nothing but amazing things about Half a Soul, and this book follows a character who doesn't get embarrassed. She gets taken away by a fairy. But these 2 other books I've heard mixed things about, so we'll see if I like Half a Soul and see if I like 10,000 Thousand Stitches, but if I end up not really liking the second book, I'm just not gonna move on to the third book. It's not really like, oh, the same character gets followed. It's, I think, interconnected standalone. So if I don't like the second two, I don't feel guilty about not finishing the series. And then the next three of the Ember and the Ashes quartet. Apologies if like these are out of order, but I read Ember and the Ashes last year, loved it. I can't wait to continue on. So I have A Reaper at the Gates, Torch Against the Night, and also Sky Beyond the Storm. Like an upper YA series. I already know I'm gonna love it because I love how the first one was written. And then I have Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. I don't know how many books are going to be in this series. I think it's going to be a trilogy. And then the last book that I've been avoiding picking up for the longest time is Fairytale. This is the original indie cover. I picked it up a while ago and I heard that like it's messy, but then you don't understand what's really going on half the time. And there's like a twist ending and it's like a love story, but gothic fantasy. I really need to get into like the mood of reading this because it's a 700-page romance of a book that I don't even know the characters of, and yet it's 700 pages. So it's one of those trust the process books. I want to pick this up and see what I think for myself. And also I love that I have the original indie cover before it became like traditionally published, because I know it's hard to find this now. Yay! That's it for all my physical TBR books. I'm gonna count them all and see how many I have all together. I'm gonna put it up on the screen how many I ended up counting out, and I need you guys to keep me accountable because I need to prioritize all of these books on my shelves because they are physical copies that I own. Like I said, I don't want these books like sitting on my shelves, taking up space, not being read if eventually I might not like them in the future. And also I feel bad that I bought them so long ago. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you want more videos like this, like and subscribe. It really does help my channel a lot, and I will see you all next time. Bye!